Nothing like going from the verge of panic to security.
Yeah. That feeling that you get of knowing that you were able to help somebody else at their time of need, that you can't place a value on that.
Hey, I'm Mac Mayer. I'm so glad you could join us today where we talk about outreach ministries. We talk about real things that are happening in churches and how we can bring solutions. And let me give you a normal scenario that could happen. And actually, I believe this happens at many churches every week. After the service, somebody wanders up to the pastor and says, "Pastor, I've got a problem." Maybe it's a widow, maybe it's a single mom, maybe there's a concern, and they say, "I've got a problem. I need help with X." Maybe it's the locks don't work on my house. Maybe my car doesn't work. All these situations. And are these valid needs that we need to help? Of course they are. But us as pastors, we get stumped. It's like, what do I do? How do I solve this solution? How do I bring a solution to this? Even though this is so valid that there's a problem there. Well, this is amazing because if we set up outreach ministries in advance, the solution is built in. And we're going to talk about that today because we're going to talk one of good friends, Janet. Welcome, Janet.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here. And tell us a little bit, give us a little background about your situation or give us a little background on your life, kind of the quick overview.
Okay, I'm a widow.
Okay.
Lived in Nampa for about 12 years.
Okay.
Live on a very busy street right behind my house. Live in a subdivision where the houses were built in the early 80s, so they're a little old. Noticed one day that my fence had a leaning issue.
Okay.
Severe leaning issue. Kind of caused me to panic because right on the other side of the fence is a very busy street and a sidewalk. Apartment subdivision right down the street where people walk down the sidewalk very, very often. And the fence was leaning. I went out and looked at it. If I pushed on it, it just leaned the other direction. So I knew I couldn't fix it.
Gotcha. So, and I don't know, probably limited means, limited income?
Yes.
Okay. And so you look out one day, you see this, and we get a lot of wind around here, and so that probably does not help fences stay vertical.
Exactly, and the wind always comes in the direction it would blow right against the fence.
All right.
So that meant it was going to come in the backyard.
It's going to push it over.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
So busy road, lots of people walking by your house, and your property's exposed to these people walking by the back of your house, all this traffic.
Whole backyard would open up, patio, doors right into the kitchen.
Okay.
Bedroom side of the house is not making me feel real secure.
Okay, yeah, I'm kind of feeling that. I'm kind of sensing that maybe a little uneasiness about this.
To say the least, yes.
Okay. So you see that out. So what was your initial response? What were you thinking?
My initial response was, I can't afford to fix this.
Okay.
And then in the back of my head, I remembered, I think there's this group at Life Church called Handy Helpers.
Okay.
Let's contact them.
All right. So what'd you do? You contact the office? Is that how it worked? Or?
Honestly, I don't remember. Yes, I think I did contact the office and ask them to contact John for me.
Okay. So limited means you call the office, contact John. A little bit later through Handy Helpers, he was able to contact you. What kind of time frame? Do you remember any of that?
It was pretty fast.
Okay.
I think I called them in the middle of the week. By the weekend.
Okay.
Someone was there.
All right. So the fence has fallen over or looking to fall over, about to fall over, probably rotten fence posts.
Yes, the posts in the ground were not set in concrete like they should have been. So John came out and looked and determined they probably needed to replace at least 2 whole sections of fence.
Wow, okay.
And then the professional showed up.
All right, all right. So what happened? How did that go?
So one of the men that works with John, Handy Helpers, came over, looked at the fence, gave me a SKU number of a part, told me to go buy a few of these, and he fixed the fence.
Awesome.
Without having to replace anything.
Oh, wow.
I think total expense to me was $8 to $10.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Big relief.
Yeah. So you felt, now, what do you think actually, when you look out your back window, what do you think when you see that fence right now?
Oh, I love it. And I feel absolutely secure.
Awesome.
I have peace of mind that no one's going to come through that fence, and the fence is not going to fall over in the wind.
Yay. All right, good. Well, and I think that this is a normal problem that we run into, you know, and I hear about these type of things all the time, whether it be a widow, elderly person. I've heard this lately about an elderly man that just could not do any of those physical chores anymore, had leaking plumbing, and once again, this was an answer for him. So many of these things take place. And it's great if we as pastors have a built-in list of people that we can call. They're already functioning, they're already vetted, they're already trustworthy. So we know with confidence what will happen. And that just, as a pastor, that gives me great confidence. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk to John, and we're gonna find out how that works and how he put his team together to bring this answer for Janet. So you can see that there's a problem with, or a challenge for pastors to be able to navigate that. Now, John, welcome. I'm glad you could join us.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, and I love your ministry. It's just, to have you in your role gives me so much peace as a pastor that I can refer people to you. And John, first off, how did you get started in this?
Well, some years back, I heard of a need from one of the members of our church, and somebody else in church was providing that assistance to her.
Okay.
And recognized that this is a need that goes on frequently.
All the time.
And especially in our market in this day and age, where finding someone to come out to your house, especially for like a small job, not small to the person needing the assistance, but small to probably the professional.
Exactly.
Whether it be plumbing or electrical or whatever the situation is. Realizing that this need is real and that it's frequent, and that there are a lot of people that can't afford the prices of some of these professionals for such a small task.
Real deal, yeah.
And scale.
So you heard about a need in the church, and then that kind of got you moving forward to start this ministry?
Well, I shared that idea with you, and you said that would be a great outreach ministry for you, and that was the beginning.
Yeah, there you go.
But I can see where you're coming from, that I'm sure pastors are that magnet that people come to with their issues, and they don't know who to call, or they don't know who to trust, or they can't afford people that can realistically provide the assistance.
Yeah, it's really understandable that if I've got a problem, I've got a pastor, I want to share my problem with this pastor because he cares about me, he's my shepherd. How does this work? And unfortunately, a lot of times our heart goes out to that individual, but we have no resource or way to help them. You know, I don't know plumbing or any of those type of things. So Janet got a hold of you. You came out. How did that happen?
Well, first, we always come out as pairs.
Okay.
Because we're typically, as you mentioned earlier, dealing with either widows or single moms. And so we want some credibility.
Yep.
We want safety and security.
Yep.
For both us and for the person that we're helping.
Very good.
So we come out with a minimum of 2 of us, and then we assess the situation and determine what the solution is going to be. And then I research what that area is and find the right people that can provide that expertise.
That's awesome. And so over the years, how many years have you done this?
I wanted to say it's probably 4 now.
4 years. That's amazing. And I know you've helped tons of people. It's powerful because I hear that feedback. So over the 4 years, you've kind of built up a repertoire, so to speak, networked with a lot of different skill sets and trades.
Yes, it started out with just, 3 or 4 of us.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of skilled at minor electrical and plumbing and fixing faucets and garbage disposals and things like that. And then I pick up people joining the ministry that their background might be electrical, their background might be drywall or painting,
Right.
or even just being a helper,
Yeah.
just providing an extra pair of hands.
So on your team, these men and women, do they like this? Is this good for them?
This is great because they have that feeling of giving back,
Right.
and helping others. And I always say, if you want to have a blessing, or be a blessing.
Oh, that's so good.
And I think that feeling that you get of knowing that you were able to help somebody else at their time of need,
Yeah, right.
that you can't place a value on that.
Yeah, that's right. Janet, you probably experienced that piece of having somebody come out and take care of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nothing like going from the verge of panic to security.
Yeah, and that's a real feeling.
It
too.
is, absolutely.
That kind of panic. What the heck am I going to do? This costs more money than I've got, and how does this answer? So you came out with a couple people, and you were able to take care of that fence.
I send out the need to the group through email.
Okay.
And then those that are comfortable in that situation,
Yeah.
offer their assistance, and then we schedule it based on their availability,
Okay.
as well as Janet's in
Yeah.
this case. And one of the gentlemen on our team, for some strange reason, he likes working on fences.
That's his deal.
That's
Yeah,
his deal.
That's awesome.
I got guys that won't paint, and I'm one that probably won't get near a fence, but I'll help. I'll
Yeah,
help hold
right,
it up while
right.
he fixes it.
Yeah, so you've got all those different gifts. That's amazing. Yeah. So how long did it take you guys to fix the fence and work that out?
They were there probably about a half a day,
Okay.
2 or 3
Maybe
hours.
half a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Took a lot of digging and securing of the posts and
Fantastic.
realigning the fence, and it came out quite
Yeah.
well, I'd say, for the age of the fence.
I'm sure it did. And I'm sure if once again, if they had to hire a professional fence company, that would be a huge amount of money to get them
Not
out.
only would it be a huge amount of money, but it also takes forever to get somebody to come out.
Especially if it's a little job like you're talking
Yeah.
about, because they want to build a big fence, those big
Well,
projects.
with the growing market that we're in,
Right.
they're all busy.
True.
They're booked out for weeks, even months.
Yeah. So to get somebody like that might be a challenge in the first place
Exactly.
for something that small. Now I understand too that once there was another issue that came about, Janet, from after the fence. What happened there?
I have a big sink in my laundry room.
Okay.
The faucet kept dripping. I thought a washer needed to be replaced.
Makes sense to me.
I couldn't get it off myself. I thought I could do it. I couldn't. So I called John.
And said, hey, I got this easy job, a washer, I can't figure it out.
I went out, bought a new faucet, easy peasy, take
Right.
the old one out, put the new one in.
Well, you're braver than me, huh? Yeah.
Not so.
Not so.
Not quite.
Yeah. So John, you came over. What happened?
Well, the leaky faucet, the washer situation, it was beyond that. I mean, this was the original faucet with the house.
Okay.
And as you stated, the house was built back in the 80s.
Early
Yeah.
80s.
And so it became evident that it was going to be best solution was to put the new faucet in that
Okay.
she purchased.
Right.
Well, in an attempt to do that, I went underneath into the valve to shut off the supply lines.
Yep.
And then I always test to make sure that they're off by turning on the faucet. And when water still
Coming out.
trickled out, then I realized that also the valve needed to be replaced.
Okay.
So isolating that issue needed to be addressed first. So that involved also having the city come out and turn off the
Right.
water, and having to go into the wall, into the line, and cut out and put in a new
Okay.
valve. So it
Yeah.
involved a little
Yeah,
bit more than we
little
were
bit more,
hoping for.
Which happens a lot.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. Mineral buildup, especially as a home ages, the eventual mineral buildup in these valves can keep it from completely
yeah.
closing.
Pretty normal. Yeah. Good. Well, now you've got that. That probably gave you more peace.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm happy now.
Yeah.
Now she's got running water in her.
I have running water.
Yeah.
I want to add one thing
Yeah,
about
please.
the fence. The gentleman who has the technique,
Yeah.
he didn't have to replace anything.
Wow.
On the
You just
fence.
knew what to do.
He knew exactly what to do,
Mm.
and nothing had to be replaced.
Wow. That's incredible.
It was,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Well, that's fantastic. Well, guys, this is awesome. Anything else you'd like to add to this story? And John, once again, I appreciate that your hard efforts just to be out there and bring peace to people that are in these dire situations.
I do want to add that you mentioned earlier that it's men and women on the team. And a lot of times there may only be one of us guys that is available to go address an issue. And sometimes some of these women don't work full time and they're available during the week. And they will meet me or another gentleman.
So you guys take separate cars out?
Yes. Yeah. Like I said, they'll meet us there.
Right.
And they provide a lot of comfort to the person that we're helping. I've seen them sit down and minister to the woman because there may be anxiety, there's issues. I can't afford this, I'm so glad. And then I've seen them pray with the person that we're helping and really add a spiritual tangent to it.
Yeah. Well, and once again, I know I've seen that firsthand. Just recently, we had someone on hospice at our church, and I know that you guys had been in there for ministry to be able to help with the house and help with the family, and you also had other team people in there that were helping with meals, helping clean the house, and just bringing love and goodness into there. And that was with a very serious situation where someone was passing. And just to be that love and the hands and the comfort during that. So, wow, what an amazing...
Any of these outreach ministries are an opportunity for us to reach other people and to identify and meet their needs outside of the church walls.
That's so terrific.
Identifying that situation, then you can reach out to other ministries and to other people within the church. To help provide that assistance.
That's great. Well, Janet, thanks for sharing your story, and I'm glad that you've got peace now. The fence is good. The plumbing's not leaking anymore, and we celebrate that. John, thanks so much for your team and what you're doing there to bring God's goodness into people of our community that are struggling and looking for answers. So thanks for joining us, and I just encourage you, I'd encourage you first off, there's probably churches that need this information. So be sure to share this information with other churches. We'd like to help you to be able to develop ministries like this. Leave us your comments, and also subscribe so that you can continue to hear about firsthand these stories of lives being impacted, and once again, how you can do the same type of thing. As a pastor, it gives me so much confidence to have this team of people, a variety of people covering all sorts of needs, whether people with special needs, people with construction problems, people with problems with their animals, all sorts of issues that people walk through all the time, that now we can refer them to answers. So thanks for joining us this week, and we look forward to hearing about your testimonies about how this is working in your church. So thanks again, guys, for being with us, and I look forward to hearing more stories of lives impacted.
You're welcome. Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah.